Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. The market is all over the place as you guys can see behind me. However, I think there is some good news coming out. So let's talk about what's going on in the market today, why I'm still dollar cost averaging at this point, and what we're going to be looking at for the next few weeks here because things are actually looking pretty darn good. To get things started off with, a lot of the volatility we are seeing today is off of two main factors. The first one is going to be the rejection of the 50-day moving average. We had already talked about this. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I made it pretty clear that was the level of resistance you guys were looking for. We hit it, we're getting rejected. That's thing number one. Now, a little bit more of a serious one, which I think is just causing people a little bit more panic than it really should, is the fact that the SEC has just given Robinhood a Wells notice. A Wells notice is basically just like a, hey, stop doing this. This is a warning. If you guys don't do what we want, we are going to sue you. And based off of the track record that we've seen over the past, 2, 3 years now, Robinhood rightfully took the approach of saying, wow, you're going to sue us because you've been such a winner at this the whole time. And so, the head of the legal department for Robinhood, which is a former SEC guy, he's basically saying this is such a weak case. Try to come at us and we'll beat you in court and we'll happily do so. So there seems to be a battle gearing up at that top level there. I think Robinhood would win. If you guys know anything about what's going on over there right now, or you guys just used the Robinhood app in the past, they don't really offer a multitude of cryptocurrencies over there. They maybe offer at most 10 to 15. Meanwhile, you got apps out there like Coinbase or Crypto.com having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tokens for you to buy. Robinhood isn't doing anything right now that warrants this type of aggressiveness from the SEC. I think it's because we are getting closer and closer here towards the end of Biden's presidency potentially, especially if RFK is in the race and Donald Trump's in the race. Most likely there is going to be a new SEC commissioner coming in fairly soon, and that whole policy is going to shift up pretty soon. So they're doing a last ditch effort here of really trying to scramble and take down as many of these or slow down the crypto move as much as possible. I know they can't stop it, or I know they can't stop it, but they're going to try everything they can to slow it down. And so far, the judicial system has been saying you can't keep doing this. The law is not on your side. And that's going to be an overall boost to Bitcoin down the road whenever we have that announcement saying that Robinhood has won the suit. At this point in time, guys, it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. The SEC still does not like Bitcoin. Sure, if Trump or RFK were to get in there, there'd be more of a positive response to Bitcoin, but that's still an if. We don't know for sure, that Biden's going to lose the election here. Now, moving on to what happens next, you are going to see some consolidation this week. I was really hoping we could try to just have an easier breakout if we can actually manage to get back above that 20 and 50 moving average on the daily chart here for Bitcoin. At this point in time, you know what? I've done 2 great day trades over the past few days. I'm still going to remain sitting on my hands. We've had this weird development where the daily charts have started to turn a little more bullish here. Unfortunately, the weekly charts are getting a little more bearish here, where we're starting to have the MACD crossover on the weekly chart. So instead of trying to go gung-ho with this type of move right now, I'm going to wait for that next pattern to show itself here. That might take anywhere from 12 to 36 hours, I would say. And then from there, once I see that next breakout, and if the daily chart is still bullish, I'll do somewhat of a larger swing trade. But if you're asking me right now what I'd be doing if I wanted to do a swing trade, because that seems like what a lot of you guys prefer to do, I might be doing smaller dollar cost averages right now every other day, a little bit of being bought in on maybe a 4 to 5x level on Bitcoin, and then have a stop loss on the last big drop that we had. If I'm looking at my charts right here, that last big drop was all the way down here at $58,000, or you could go up here to $59,000. Either way, it's going to be a rough time trying to hold during this market, just as we kind of wait for this next kind of cycle to build itself up. That's overall going to be just fine. There's not much of a geopolitical threat happening at this point in time. We do see some things happening, so I just want to talk to you guys about it. Earlier this morning, we started to see Israel start to bomb Rafah, start to bomb the terrorists and stuff like that. That's continuing to go. I also just heard rumors that maybe Israel is trying to work on a ceasefire. So if that ceasefire is confirmed down the road, like they can both say yes, But if the deal isn't confirmed, that's bad news. But if they can figure out a deal, I think that would actually help us out a little bit more, and it might cause oil prices to start coming back down here, which could be very, very good news. As I'm looking right now, oil prices are up 0.5%. That is quite a bit. That is not what we want to see. Those higher oil prices do really matter when it comes to inflation. And now that we have inflation coming, next Wednesday and Thursday from CPI and PPI, there is going to be a lot of volatility leading up into this. So what you're going to look at most likely happening for the next few days is Bitcoin entering into some type of consolidation, waiting for a larger move to break us out in one way or the other. That large move is just going to be the CPI and the PPI. So once we start going on Wednesday and Thursday, that's when you guys are really going to get pretty crazy here. But again, it's next Wednesday, Thursday, not the one we're expecting right now. Now, one last thing here. We're kind of in a weird spot as far as the Japanese yen, and I've already talked about this at length. I was hoping that they were going to do more, and it seems like they kind of are. But when a currency is kind of falling and then their bank props it up, well, all of a sudden, people that have gotten in a while ago, they want to sell. Well, they're just selling, and it's causing a little bit of a canceling out effect at this point. So we're going to have to see how much longer the Bank of Japan wants to be buying up the currency. And if they're able to buy up more and more and more, maybe a few hundred billion more, it's going to take a lot, to be honest. I think that'll also be a good move for the dollar here. One of the things that we've been talking about over the past few days, which I want you guys just to really hammer in here, is that the dollar index really does matter. And the technicals on the dollar index also matter because a lot of people are trading these currencies, businesses, corporations, governments, you name it. They all like to do it. However, we are getting closer to a support level for how far Bitcoin can come down. The dollar can come down. And if the sucker decides to break back up and they not break down, that's going to be a really negative move for Bitcoin that could actually potentially move us back down here towards 61,000 or so. So just be aware of that, maybe 61,500. What I'm hoping is going to happen is inflation is better than expected next Wednesday, and that will officially cause a larger breakdown, which will cause Bitcoin to eventually hit all-time highs. So there is still a chance that Bitcoin can hit all-time highs this year, and heck, even this month. But a large part of it for this month is, can we see inflation come down in a meaningful way? And can it be a surprise? That surprise is really what I'm looking for here, guys, and I'm super excited for it. But I want to see the world calm down a little bit. I want to see Japan get their act together, and that's a very, very hard thing for us to see happen. If you guys been following me on that one. But right now, like I said before, I've had 2 really good day trades. I'm happy with the profits I've gotten off of them. At this point in time, I told you I would be selling around the 50-day moving average. I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a nice large move. My dollar cost averaging is starting to turn pretty fruitful. That's pretty nice. Instead of being down about $1,200 to $1,400, now I'm only down $400. So maybe that'll work its way around to giving me even more money here down the road. But at this point in time, dollar cost averaging is still going to be your best bet. I'm waiting for another shakeout potentially to happen over the next few hours. After that, I'll probably be more enticed to buy for some type of a swing trade, especially because the daily charts are getting a little bit more bullish. I'm hoping we can just stagnate for a little bit and then have another rally here. I don't want to see the bearishness appearing on the weekly charts to really taint us and force us to come back down. The other opportunity here is if you guys are just looking for a zone to buy, wait to see what happens next week as we start to approach the 20-day moving average. If we start to break down below that, then I think there's going to be something of a panic mode amongst a lot of investors and crypto gurus and whatnot. So just make sure you guys have everything okay. You guys are settled up. And if you guys are trading right now, just have your stop losses. At this point in time, we've had like 2 opportunities to have some really good day trades. I sold a little bit early on my first one. I didn't do it on my second one, so that was very nice. However, take your time. It's a good time to be trading at this point in time. Just keep an eye on those moving averages because they are giving us some really cool, solid hints where I think, just like we did before with the jobs report, we're just going to need to have some good economic news and Bitcoin's ready to go. We're just waiting for that news, all right? So see you guys a little bit later, and thanks for watching.